All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Scio Environmental Sustainability Task Force meeting for November 6th, 2025. Okay. And since we have Lydia here, I thought it'd be great to do some introductions so she can meet folks. And so, Lydia, why don't you go ahead and go first? Yeah.
Sure. I'm Lydia McMullen Laird. I work at zerowaste.org along with my brother Samuel. And we are working to reduce waste as much as possible, as quickly as possible. We work mainly in Washington County, that area, but we've also worked in other places across the country. So happy to be here.
Great, thanks. Welcome. Bob.
Hello, I'm Bob Hyde. I'm a Scio Township resident and on the Planning Commission. Also represent Scio with the Huron River Watershed Council. And I'm on the water group.
Yeah, focus group. Jeff.
Lydia knows who I am.
Yes, okay.
We've known each other for years. But
All right.
I have a couple of things I can pass along when it's my turn about what I learned at the conference so far.
Oh, great. Excellent. We'll add that. Charlie.
Charlie Nielsen, I usually go by Charlie, and I am actually an ex-Scio Township supervisor from about 100 years ago. Actually, it was about 20. And really, I've kind of done stuff with the township ever since. I was a recycling manager for a long time until COVID destroyed that program. And so that's why I joined the Sustainability Task Force when it formed, because that's a way of kind of continuing what I was doing before.
Yeah. Kathy.
Hi, Kathy Juskevich, and I joined this task force as my first involvement with Scio Township when it first started up. I'm kind of the transportation representative, and I've also been representing the township on SEMCOG meetings, Southeastern Michigan Council of Governments.
All right. Molly.
Hi, sorry, I joined a minute late. Are we just introducing ourselves?
Yep.
Yes, we're just, yes.
Yeah, I assumed after hearing a couple. Thank you. My name's Molly Maher. I joined not long ago, and so I'm still getting more involved with the task force. But I'm interested in helping however I can, and then have a background in health and work in digital health now. And so have talked with Jan about supporting some of the connection to health and all policies and public health measures.
Great. Rob.
Hi, Lydia. Rob Pattinson, otherwise known as the Invisible Elf. I'm an active resident, and I have really appreciated what this committee has done for Scio Township. And so I help when I can, like with the sustainability fair and that sort of stuff.
And he's generally he is our public, so it's really helpful when we have public comment. Rob is here, so we'll call Rob our public. All right. Okay, so with that, let's see, Jeff, you wanted to also talk a little bit about Ms. Conwright. Is that?
Yeah. You want to
Okay.
do that now, or do you want to?
I'll just put it under, yeah, general, because we have, Kathy wants to talk a little bit about SEMCOG as well. So I'll have both of you, I'll just put both of those items under general information. So with that, please note, we do have Renee Smallwood. We sent along her correspondence about burning in Scio. And we can take a look at that when we talk a little bit about health. And we are doing a health and climate piece. Molly's been working on that for the winter newsletter, since January tends to be, health and wellness month on everyone's calendar. So, all right. So with that, Rob, anything that you would like to say starting off?
Just a quick note. Thank you all for the sustainability fair. You guys are rock stars, and I think that was the best one yet. I really like the way it's going. I like how it's growing every year. Very well done. For the banner, that ended up in 3 different places from where we put it away last year. So I got some shrink wrap, and I am going to shrink wrap the whole thing together into one piece, and we'll store it in the basement in the sustainability area, or in the shelf assigned to the sustainability task force. And it'll be there for next year, and I'll have instructions and everything in it too.
Yahoo! Thank you. Yeah, that sign really helps visibility, for sure. All right. So why don't we go ahead and we'll do Kathy first with SEMCOG, and then Jeff, you can talk about Miss Khan.
Okay. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, quite a long time ago, I volunteered to serve on the task force to help write SEMCOG's healthy climate. They call it the Healthy Climate Plan Task Force, Comprehensive Climate Action Plan for Southeastern Michigan. And it all got slowed down with the elections and everything else. Things have changed a bit, but just wanted to kind of let you know they're wrapping it up now. We had our final meeting just this past month, and there is not quite yet a final draft because they're still pulling it together, and it turned out to be a much bigger job than they ever expected, I think. But I just want to say that I'm really, really impressed with all the data that went into it, the big data analysis kinds of things. Very well done, put together, and the group that they hired to work on it really got into neighborhoods in Detroit, and neighborhoods, they targeted places where groups of people were not as well represented, and got in there and met with them and called meetings and encouraged them to come, and had people go out into the neighborhoods. They really got some good feedback on everything. And compared to our climate action plan, it's much more focused because their real focus was on cutting carbon emissions, just that. So I just wanted to point out that it was down to the main things were to promote healthy and efficient buildings, including retrofits, electrification, heat pumps, and so on, densification, net zero emission building standards. Second most and just about equal, modernize mobility systems, increase active transportation, transit train ridership, electrify transit and other vehicles, including ships, because we do have communities like that in southeastern Michigan, electrify traffic and streetlights. Third, dropped down considerably in importance from the first two, expand local renewable energy generation, rooftop and ground mount solar systems, develop energy storage, and finally, sustainably manage waste and natural resources, reducing waste, especially food, circular economy development, tree canopy cover, wetland enhancements. And that's pretty much everything that the plan covered. And this goes along with all the other big SEMCOG plans. You use what the priorities of the plan were to justify grant applications and so on. So this is what they will prioritize in terms of grant giving. And it's as soon as they send us the final draft, as soon as they actually have a final draft of the plan ready, they will let us know, and then there'll be something like 60 days of feedback that we can give, and then it goes to their executive committee for final approval and becomes part of the plan for SEMCOG. So just to let you know, that's where we are.
All right, great. All right, Jeff, Miss Khan.
Yeah, day 1 of 2. It's been a fully packed agenda, basically. This conference it's called the Sustainability Conference, but this year it is focused nearly entirely on food waste and what can be done to both capture the waste, in other words, put it into, say, compost instead of a landfill, and also to divert the excess food to the folks who need it rather than throwing it away. The third element of that is trying to encourage people to reduce food waste. I heard one of the presenters who actually owns a worm farm, and he said, I don't want to really put myself out of business right now, but really we're a stopgap because really the solution is to not have all this food waste. It's to have people cut back on the amount of food being generated or getting it to the right place before he has to feed it to his worms. So that was an interesting perspective. He said, let's get that food waste right back to the farmers so they can turn it directly into dirt and more food. So I thought that was an interesting perspective. My takeaway so far, first of all, I was officially representing Scio Township at the conference, accepted one of their free entries to it. And as such, I got to stand up when the awards, the Green Communities Awards were announced, and Scio Township was among the gold recipients. So I got to stand up for that, which was really nice. By the way, there are 2 new platinum awardees. Platinum, I guess, is new this year, or they're the first ever awardees. And they were the city of Ann Arbor, yay, and the city of Grand Rapids, which if you'd asked me to choose, those are the 2 I would have picked as, yeah, pretty clear examples of that level of sustainability practice. So, also, I talked to both Michigan Consulting and Environmental, MCE, and Jennifer at My Green Michigan. They had exhibitor tables practically next to each other. So I got reassured there are no hard feelings at MCE, and we went with a different direction. And they said, if you ever need any help or, you plan, everything grows, give us a call. So that was nice. And Jennifer affirmed how fired up she is to be serving our community. So that's really nice. Now, something that can be direct feedback for Lydia, you and Samuel going forward. I went to a presentation on what was called nudges. The idea is rather than slap people around with, you should reduce food waste and you should compost, you nudge them in the right direction and hope they will take the hint and do the right thing, I think. And he shared an example of a program at Northern Michigan University where they were trying to encourage that very practice. And he showed a number of different posters, and they did a survey, and they got positive and negative feedback on all these different approaches. So that was pretty cool to see how all those posters, how they worked and how they didn't work. My takeaway from that is, and I'm going to apply this to my own business as well, because I want to get the message out. There are really 3 things you need to do, and this is simplifying, but in summary, there are these 3 key things you need to do when you're creating a piece of communication that is intended to change behavior. So, number 1, tell them why it's a problem. Number 2, tell them how it affects them. And number 3, tell them what they can do. And what was interesting was these posters in the surveys, most of them had 1 or 2 of those 3 elements, but none of them had all 3. And that was pretty clear once he was making those points, going back and looking at it. One was just a data dump that said, Michigan throws away 170 million tons of food waste a year. Okay, so what? Right? Or there would be a poster that says, reduce food waste. Why? Okay, then there was one that said, food waste costs you $2,000 a year. Okay, you have my attention. But now, what am I supposed to do about it? This kind of thing. So they were trying to get the students changing their behavior when they ate food at the cafeteria, basically. Take less, right? And compost what you don't use. It did occur to me that there was nothing aimed at the back of the house. In other words, what are they encouraging their cooks to do, their food preppers to do? Are they cutting back on their food waste? What are they doing? So it's a complicated issue, but it pointed out just how much thought sometimes you have to put into making an effective message. So that's one big takeaway that I definitely am going to use. And
Welcome, Tim.
so just one more point I was going to make. and that is I had a discussion with the folks at Eagle about their flows program, which is their organics grant program. And I said, oh, is this something we could apply for a grant for? And she said, what that program is right now, it's a 6-month sort of training. It's 6 months of training. There's no money with it, but you get access to consultants and trainers and experts and things like that. So by the time you apply for the grant, you know what you're doing and you're much more likely to get one. So it's something, I don't know if we want to look into that, but if the other thing about that is if we're going to work more closely with Washtenaw County's program, then we should get those ducks in a row first, I think, before we apply for any state money. So,
Mhm.
those
And
are my takeaways.
what is, when you said flows program, what's that acronym? What does that stand for?
You had to ask. You can look it up on Eagle's website.
Okay,
But basically, it's the organic waste stream.
okay.
How are they improving that? And so they have programs for that. Right now, it's just this immersion into learning all about it and having expert guidance and that thing for a program you've got.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. A lot more. I'm hoping that the recordings will be available after the conference is over so that we can go back, because there are a couple I would definitely recommend. The guy from Fairlife, by the way, made a presentation. And those are the guys that make the high quality milk, lactose free, and the protein drinks and all of that.
Mm.
And what was very interesting about that presentation was how they handle the waste, because they're dealing with milk. This is a dairy product, and by law, they have to clean their system every so often, which means they have to flush out the old stuff, sterilize, reflush. So there's a lot of stuff that just is not going to get into the bottles. It's just part of the cleaning and process. But there are several steps once they do all that. All the lactose gets turned into animal feed, and the waste products get separated into several other sources. So by the time they end up, they've got basically water left, and just about all of the rest has been repurposed for something else. It's either reused to sanitize again, or it's turned into some kind of product that's useful downstream. Either they can sell it, or they use it in their own processes because they have to kill the bacteria on one end, but they have to grow the bacteria on the other end to do some aerobic digestion of some of the waste products. So this is a really fascinating presentation. It'd be worth watching.
Did you say?
I think you just muted, Tim.
Boy,
There you go.
Yeah.
still not very good at this stuff. Was that Gerber, Jeff?
Fairlife.
Who?
Fairlife.
Where are
Yeah.
they?
They're a dairy producer.
Can you put the name in the chat?
Yes. And it's actually, let's see here.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking because I'm familiar with all that re-sterilization stuff, and depends, from the aseptic packing plants that I was part of in the past.
Mhm. Yeah, but he said we can't afford waste. We're selling every drop we can put in a bottle.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Good. Use it up.
Are they located in Michigan?
They are, let's see.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I misspelled it here. Give me a second.
Never mind.
You told me and I forgot.
Okay.
No worries, Jeff. No big deal.
They are, yeah, Arizona.
Arizona.
That's their main production facility. Yeah. They do have facilities, Coopersville, Michigan, Webster, New York, Chicago. But yeah, he was talking about their production facility in Arizona.
I think
Gerber in Michigan, sorry, Kathy, Gerber in Michigan here, you know, up toward the thumb area does a lot of similar processing. So
Mhm.
they must have a lot of similar issues with waste.
Yeah, probably do.
I was just going to say, I think that may be somehow linked with Coca-Cola, Fairlife.
They're like,
It's, it seems to me that Fairlife is a Coca-Cola product or something, or they're somehow linked with Coca-Cola. I mean, I think it's a big corporation, a very big one.
but Fairlife is kind of more of a nutritional food packer.
Mhm.
No, primarily. So you
Mhm.
can, and lactose free. So you specialty dairy cases will carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah, protein drinks too.
Anyway,
Yeah, it did come up. Coca-Cola is the full owner of Fairlife, a dairy company that known for its ultra filtered milk products.
Yeah, yeah.
ultra filtered milk.
So yeah, Coca-Cola's branched out. All right. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, and by
Um,
the way, if you have an extra $32,000 lying around, you can buy an aerobic digester that will turn all your food waste into basically gray water. So
And
that was
gas.
another exhibitor there.
hmm,
I kind of thought, well, okay, it gets rid of the problem, but I'm not sure that it's producing as much value as you might want, because I'm looking to turn food waste back into compost, back into dirt and not into gray water. You said all the
hmm,
nutritional value is there, but you'd still have to apply it properly, right?
hmm, hmm. Interesting. Hmm,
Yeah,
Mhm. Yep.
okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of waste going to the farms in our country. And some is, you know, some is safe to apply, you know, in terms of what the runoff is into the rivers and the water system, and some is not. So um, it's good, I think, you know, to cycle that waste into anaerobic digesters and create methane, and then the waste from that process is filtered out and it can be used as animal feed or depending on what it is, something like
yeah, you can capture the methane and use it for fuel.
Hmm.
you can
Yeah.
capture that, but there's always a waste from that. You know, I mean, the bacteria don't digest all of the carbohydrate in
Right.
it and turn it into a gas. So there's always waste to use up and yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So, so really point is to, as we think about our messaging with those three steps, think
Yeah,
about, um, learn a little bit more and coordinate with, the folks at Washtenaw County doing the food waste, uh, program and see if there might be a grant opportunity with the flows program is sort of your key takeaways. Okay.
no, it's not through flow, through something.
Hmm. Okay. Oh, sounds good. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our focus group updates. And Lydia, basically, so zerowaste.org is going to help us with our educational programming and outreach. And I know Mary's been working a little bit and has made some progress on the website. I haven't taken a look at it since I've been away, but we should probably, take a look at it and, the use of it and so forth, and kind of do some, whatever guidance that we can help give her. Samuel and I recorded a shorter version. It was still 15 minutes, but we have the presentation and the video for people to watch. We now have 96 people signed up.
Yeah.
And there've been a couple people that have been trying to
Yay.
communicate with me a little bit. So we need some way of ask a question or, a way of making it easy to communicate, but not everyone's using the website. So we'll have to figure out a little bit. So I'm thrilled that we're at 96
Yeah, that's
in
great.
basically a week. And Molly helped at the Halloween open house. I have to say that's a great place to engage with people. Got to say it. I think we need to do both things. They put us right in the front, uh, and if, food waste was people were very interested and very excited about the program. And I think also with everyone bringing and dropping off their ballots, there, with the poster up and so forth, the front desk has been asking, we gave them the flyer to hand out if people wanted to take something home. So they said people were very, very curious about it. So I think people are wanting to do something positive. Yeah. So yeah, so part of is the discussion about next steps. And there've been a couple suggestions like, why can't it just be open all the time? Um, and I think it's pretty easy. Open and closing is working fine, except on Saturdays when we have to rotate volunteers to do it. And if I think Charlie, you're okay this Saturday at 4, you think? Or okay. Um, and so I guess, part of the discussion is um, I sort of wanted to do an evaluation after a couple weeks just to make sure people are, keeping things neat. Um, it, you know, um, we're not getting, contamination, that type of thing, before we sort of just say, okay, anybody can drop it off at any time. I don't know. That was my thinking. Other people may have a different opinion, and I'd kind of like to open that up for discussion a little bit. Yeah.
Ask it again, please, Jan. What's the question?
Sure. Right now it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays that it's open. It's
Mhm.
not being locked. So basically, the lid on the storage, you can lift it up and then lift up, and inside that are the bins. So when it's open, we have the top of the storage enclosure open, and people just have to open the bin and dump their food waste in. And when it's closed, the top is down, but we haven't, nobody really thought we needed to lock it, so we haven't locked it. So technically, it's really open anytime, but we have advertised hours. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think the
The
part
que-
was, well, why don't you make it as convenient as possible for people?
Yeah, so the question is why lock it?
Or why have hours?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is the lid to the main unit, is it heavy? Can anybody lift it?
That's a good question. Um,
No, the
Yeah.
lid's really light.
Just the lid is light.
Yeah.
Okay,
is it?
awesome.
Yeah, the only issue is you want it to, you need to push it up far enough so it kind of locks, so it doesn't come down on you. Because you can't hold that one and the bin up and dump your stuff. That'd be the only thing. But it'd be easy to do a quick little video on opening and closing it.
And if it turns out to be an issue, we could always add gas struts to either side, like a hatchback on a
Mm,
minivan or an SUV that could
mhm.
offset the weight.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that I'm worried about too is when it's open and left open, if a strong wind gust comes, it could damage it. I mean,
Very good point.
that's the other piece. Yeah. Yeah. But, but thoughts, I sort of wanted to get everyone started and making sure we're not having any issues. And then, so maybe, maybe what we do is with the next newsletter, that would be a good time because everybody would get that newsletter to say, okay, it's open. You know, we've had success. People are using it wisely. We're going to open, you know, just keep it open. And here's the little trick to lifting the the top on the storage unit. You know, that way it would, you know, it would start like January 1st or something like that. And it'd be a way of notifying everyone through that newsletter.
Yeah, I like that path, Jan. I mean, I'm all for making it as little with as little complication as possible. And you know, we're a community here, and let's try to act like it before we start, you know, putting fences up and
Mhm.
making other rules.
Yeah. And so it's sort
My
of a celebration of success that, you know, we have a bunch of people and more demand and everybody's doing a good job and let's open. Yeah.
Jan, you
when I
said that,
went to
oh,
oh,
I was just gonna ask, you did say that the people that are signed up for it have a way to email in and make comments or ask questions?
No,
They don't.
I asked
Okay.
Mary to set that up. I don't think it's set up yet.
Okay.
Because I think we need to do that. So that there's a way for people to ask questions. I mean, they can always call, the township, but,
Do
um,
we have email addresses for all of them?
yes, we have,
Um,
when they signed up, we have those email addresses. Yes.
I'm wondering about sending out like, what do you call those little Google quizzes? You know, I forget what they're
Oh, a
called.
survey kind of thing?
Yeah, like a little
Hmm.
short survey after a month or two and just see if there's some strong comment coming back or,
Yeah, or three.
A
yeah,
little evaluation kind of thing.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, feedback, good. Who is the
Feedback.
point person in the township office for this?
Chris
Chris is,
Chang.
oh, good, great, right.
Mhm.
when I went and closed Saturday, I noticed it was already closed. So I'm kind of the impression that the people using it are actually opening and closing it,
Mm.
which is great if they would do it, and that solves a potential wind problem. And
Mhm.
I noticed there was nothing in the right-hand container. The left one was maybe 1/3 full, and I didn't see any signs of contamination.
Mhm.
So that was good.
Good. Yeah. That's good. That's great. And we do have a bin because we're not going to have them pick it up until the 21st. There were just some holidays and I wanted to make sure we had a pickup after Thanksgiving, um, rather than the Friday of Thanksgiving weekend. So, but we do have a third bin. So if two of the bins get full, they can, you know, take out one of the bins and put in an empty one if we need it. So, and staff training, we did some staff training and working with, the fire department hasn't been trained yet, and that'll happen next week sometime. So,
So Jan, does Chris
mhm.
email address for every, what is it, 95 people? All 95 of them?
Yeah, Mary has that. I only had the first 60. I have to ask Mary for the rest of the email so that we can, um, you know, communicate. Yeah, but we do
Well,
have all the emails. Some of them, if you put a link in or something, I've noticed they bounce, you know, because when you do I'm gonna have to create like a group email, I think, for it. Because is sending out an email to 96 emails, and maybe Lydia, you can you can, provide um, some how-tos with that. Um, yeah.
well, so my thought is, yeah, there should be a group email for everybody signed up to do it, and there's going to be messages from time to time. Hey, it's too full, or it's not full enough. But at this point in time, a message could be sent that says, the first pickup is, what'd you say, the 22nd? November
21st.
21st before Thanksgiving, and there's going to be a whole load we expect, and there might be an overload, after that. So if you got a bunch of waste for recycling, put it in now.
Mhm,
Put it in before the 21st.
mhm.
Anyway, just fill it up.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Lydia. You,
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like for the mass emails, Samuel has like a system set up and we could add a group, but that's like something only he has access to. So if you wanted something that anyone could send from, I know a lot of orgs use the Google Groups and then it's like easy to send to a lot of people.
yeah, I'll see if someone at the township can do it, just because, keeping those emails within the township was something that people were sensitive about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
They may
yeah.
have they most likely have a system set up where you can just add like a
Hmm.
segment it's called, and this would just be like the compost segment.
Hmm.
And you can
Yeah, and if Mary can actually do that automatically, because I know they do groups, they don't, I don't think there's a group of 96 anywhere, but they've created the Planning Commission, the ESTF, like we have a group email and so forth, so they should be able to do that, and
Yeah.
then hopefully Mary can just keep adding those email addresses to it. So. Yeah. And Molly, thanks for putting Molly and I had to put 30 emails into the
Yeah, no
into the sign
problem.
up
Mm.
from
The only hard part is reading the handwriting of the parents who were trying to write while they were juggling sugary
their
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it would be good to maybe do a brief update, and then also in that email we can communicate an email that if people have questions or comments or whatever, that they can send an email to. So maybe Lydia, you could help us create that email. And I think giving people feedback quickly is kind of fun to be able to do, and let people know that we have 96, because I think that's a great number. Mhm. And then I think one of the things you were going to do is sort of put together sort of an education kind of plan or whatever, so that we know that November 17th is the deadline for the next newsletter, and that's later in our agenda. But Molly's working on some health and climate stuff, and I said we'd have a short little piece on how the food waste compost pilot is going, and then that way we can also announce now it's open every day, and there's a new little here's a QR code, for the new video on how to open how to open everything. And then again, still ask people to sign up so that we know who's using it, and can um, have a complete cycle of communication with participants, that kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Anything else on your end, Lydia?
No, I don't think so. Just taking it all in, learning what you
Yeah.
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 So
And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, or if you have something that you need to get going on, please. We'll keep it at the beginning of the agenda, so that if you have to leave sooner, you can. Okay.
awesome. I've got some family stuff to attend to, but please feel free to send me anything by email, and it's great to meet you all.
Okay. All
Hey,
right. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Great.
Are you related to a Tom McMullen
I am, yes, in Maryland. I don't know.
in Maryland?
Yes, he used to
There's
be
a
a
Tom
radio
McMullen
host.
here in town, but not.
Oh,
Yeah.
different Tom McMullen. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
All
All
right.
right.
you're in a good name.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you all.
All right.
See you next week.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Tim, did you have anything on the regenerative ag? local food system that you wanted to
Mm,
report on?
gosh.
Is LPC working on another purchase?
Yeah, yeah, two or three of them.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and some of them may turn into, yeah, thank you for pushing that button. The LPC Land Preservation Commission is looking at two or three properties that could turn into buy, protect, sell properties, which means we could offer them more, quite a bit cheaper to local
No, just a picture.
farmers, local agricultural um, minded business people.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's happening. And oh my gosh, there's a lot happening on the national level with land preservation and with the goal of getting more people, particularly young people on the farms to on the land to farm and create food for local communities. There's what's anyway, I don't need to go into the politics of all that stuff, but yeah, and hopefully in the next oh gosh, maybe in the next 2 or 3 months we'll have a piece of land to offer up to farmers, hopefully. Yeah.
Hmm. That'd be great. All right. Um, Energy, just wanted to say that starting Monday, they're going to be taking down the ceilings, and there are, I think, 4 different phases to putting in the new heat pump systems. The geofield is complete, so they'll be doing, this is the inside work now. And it'll go all the way through probably the end of February by the time it gets all completed. And the last phase is the meeting hall, which will be done in January. So it'll be, yeah, that most of the visible construction work will be done by the beginning of February. So that'll be kind of fun. And we are benchmarking um, the uh, the energy use, so we'll be able to see the reduction in the gas and the increase in electric use, but hopefully it should be a reduction in total BTUs of energy use. So, and because the township is enrolled in the My Green Power. 100% of the electricity is renewable. So that'll have a large reduction in our greenhouse gas emissions. So after we get that squared away, I'll be doing a report to the Board of Trustees. Um, and the other thing, and this is important for anybody in this group, the township is working on its capital improvement plan, which is typically a whole variety of all the department heads work on their capital improvement plans. So Kathy, Fleet, um, um, should look at, I don't know if there's some examples of, fleet purchase policies or something like that, but, really looking at and working with the fleets. I need to try and look at if Scio's is doing solar, if we're thinking about doing any solar, the elective pay goes away if things aren't started by next year. So if we want to do any additional on-site, this would be the time to do it. And also working with the fire station on making sure that it is net zero, and we can hopefully, I don't know if they've got it totally in the budget yet or not. They are going to do geo, and they want to do some solar on the fire station too. So just that's a lot to handle in 1 year there. But hopefully we can pull it off. So if any of you, if we're thinking capital improvement wise, it's primarily, the fleets and the buildings. But if any of you can think of some other things that would be that we want to do that, it's going to take them probably 3 months to get that all squared away. But it's a pretty important planning document. So yeah, so if anything comes to mind, we should work on that together.
I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
Kathy.
I think things like bus stops are also in that capital improvement budget. Yes, I think.
Yeah, now that we don't have a DDA.
Right.
Yeah, Bob, you were gonna say something?
Yes, I was wondering, the capital improvement plan for just energy, or is it for any type of project?
Any type of project that is, uh,
Sustainability?
yeah, sustainability related. Yep. So if we wanted to do something, say green infrastructure wise on Jackson Road, for instance, or whatever, that would be part of that.
Or perhaps any stormwater management ideas that come up elsewhere? Okay, I
Yep.
don't know what any, but
Yep. 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 For sure. And I think that's why I think that workshop and that's coming up a little bit later, but yeah, the underwater, I had noted that we are going to be doing that December 1st workshop with 6 to 8 with the Huron
right.
River Watershed Council, and Harry Sheehan's going to be there too. And the Watershed Council I think they really emphasize this, that they want people there as opposed to attending online. It still will be a hybrid meeting, but I think they're, the way they run the workshop, it's more interactive.
It's interactive, right? Um, Is there any chance that we could get it announced on the website, the township website, on the front page? I don't think
Yeah.
it's there.
No, it's not. I
Could
think
I,
it would probably be coming, yeah, pretty soon because I know Mary has she doesn't announce it too early, but let me put that down because we should make sure that that gets announced.
so you're gonna talk to Mary about that? Or I was
Yeah, or if you wanted to
volunteering, but,
do you want to do it? Or
well, yeah, I could do that.
why
No,
don't you do that? And then you can, if there's any specifics that you've talked to the Watershed Council about.
okay. So talk to Mary is who I should talk to.
Yeah, you can just email Mary because she does she I think Christy can do banners too. So but you might want to copy Christy
Okay,
when you do that, yeah. Because I think Christy did a banner when because Mary's only working part-time, I think.
very good.
Okay, cool.
That took care of the
Um,
water announcements.
mhm. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and also I don't know if you noticed, Bob, did you get it? I sent the Planning Commission the webpage in the city of Ann Arbor, and Tim, I put this in the LPC report from the Planning Commission too. I thought, um, they've now can use the funds for the Blue Belt, and the Blue Belt is basically has borders the watershed for preservation of properties. And also I tagged Carlisle Wortman did look at the bioreserves map and the versus our open ordinance. What are
Right.
our priorities for preservation and open zoning, which means we still have to look at that open zoning ordinance a little closer. But anyway, it gives you LPC the opportunity there's a lot more land than within this blue boundary that would be eligible for city millage, their millage funds. So it's not just green belt anymore, it's the blue belt. And it's a lot of property in Scio because of the Honey Creek, um, all
The,
riparian area.
the, the green belt funding has helped a lot over the years to preserve properties in South Township. They've
Mhm.
come in as a partner now with the blue belt, which is a wider
Mhm.
um, a wider belt. It's a wider um, uh, you know, boundaries for consideration in terms of funding
Mhm.
that that makes and it stretches further west into Scio Township. So that's good for the Scio Township Land Preservation Commission, and we're looking at
Mhm.
some properties that could, get some funding from that. Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah. Um, all right. I don't know, natural ecosystems, has anything happened with the city bird team at all, Tim?
Yeah, I don't know. I missed that meeting and
Okay.
I can't report on it.
All right. The other thing is, people might be interested in each of the, what are they called? The parks stewards, are they stewards? Gave a presentation at the last BOT meeting on, they're basically research and observations in many of the preserves. And I thought they were very well done. And they're documented, I believe. I don't know if they're documented on the PPP website, but they are in that BOT meeting. And there were four presentations, and they all had to do with different aspects of observations in the preserves. So if people are interested in that, I was trying to think of, I want to, when I get back and get my head into things again, I thought it'd be great to put those on the websites if they're not on the PPP website. Uh, so people can, it's all about what you can find and what you can see, and you need to be, looking for those things. And they did a great job with some of the photography and so forth. So it was neat. Um, Mobility, Kathy.
Let's see, nothing particularly new. Trying to think. Just yeah, just I think pretty much I want to find out about this committee and what's going on that you have down here.
Yeah. Yeah, so there was a charge, and I'm trying to get Ryan or somebody to send out the charge for the committee.
I,
It
I
was
have
a
it.
pretty long list of,
Yeah,
of
I
items.
do have it
Mhm.
actually in front of
Okay.
me. So
Oh, good. Yeah.
yeah. It says, let's see. Charge. The Scio Township Multimodal Transportation Committee shall be charged with advising the Board of Trustees with recommendations based on data, community input, and technical assistance regarding future multimodal transportation needs of the community. The committee's review and analysis shall include the following: evaluate existing transportation infrastructure, et cetera, et cetera. Two, identify safety concerns, barriers, and gaps in the current network. Three, collaborate with regional partners, including WAVE, AAATA, SEMCOG, and Washtenaw County to align local priorities with regional transportation planning. Four, support integration of multimodal transportation options with the Township Master Plan and Capital Improvement Plan. Five, promote environmentally sustainable transportation practices, reduce GHG. Six, financial analysis and forecasting for bus transit for the next 5 years. Seven, current use of bus and transit services and the status of service delivery. Eight, recommendations regarding services that are currently not being provided and the rationale for the recommendations. 9, based on service recommendations, provide budget projections, blah, blah. 10, community feedback and the impact of service changes. So quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a huge.
Yeah, it's heavily weighted, I noticed, towards transit, with little, just a little bit kind of saying, including, they don't say a whole lot about bicycle and pedestrian kinds of
Mhm.
things. So I think
Yeah,
we need to make sure that it doesn't ignore that.
yeah, I agree.
Other than
And
that-
I have asked that you be added to that, the invite list.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mhm.
And do you think that if I don't get officially invited, I should just show up at?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was wondering. Okay,
Yep.
okay,
I think that'd be great because here's a link with SEMCOG too. Yeah.
right. Mhm.
But anyway, okay. And then we did water resilient. Oh, Charlie, go ahead.
I just wanted to add, I don't know if Kathy's heard any updates on the proposed move of the bus stop in front of Scio Farms. I did get a
I
chance
heard
to,
from Chris a little bit.
yeah. Basically, it's all messed up.
What I heard was just basically hadn't heard anything back from Scio Farms management, but had heard from Chris that he was looking into past history and that in the past they were definitely not interested in doing any of that, of having the shelter come into the facility. So he was thinking it was not going to work out.
Yeah, although they haven't said officially one way or the other, but
No, there's been no word
Yeah.
back. I think it's actually changed management since,
Yeah.
hasn't it? So it may not be the same, but
right.
he went.
Well, and then
he
there
went
was
in-
other things like they were looking into other bus stops, what it took to move one or construct one. And they had one example of one that was constructed, and it was $45,000, I think, what I heard, just for labor.
I did hear that it was a lot more expensive, and also the other one that we were going to build, that we talked about building at Woodview Commons, that they paid for, that what they paid for it would no longer cover the cost of building it.
Mhm.
We'll have to kick in more money.
Yeah,
Oh,
in fact,
boy.
Chris even wondered, I think he said, he goes, maybe it'd be cheaper just to build a little kick out thing like they did for the other bus stops, another lane off the boulevard. And just
Turn
leave-
off.
For
leave
Scio-
the stop where it is.
For Scio Farms. Yeah, that was
Now,
my.
somebody had brought up, well, then people have to walk further, but
They do.
if they're walking up to the front of the park anyway, it's not that much further to go to the bus stop where it is now.
Well, we're concerned with no sidewalks also about liability issues. If we're saying people have to walk out into the street to get into the bus, if something happens, who's liable? And
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
it's a can of worms.
yep,
Oh, boy.
nothing
Okay.
simple, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Not
Yeah.
in government.
Oh, in the
Okay.
meantime, I did
Yeah.
catch at the last. I did try to go around and talk to people about transit at the last SEMCOG General Assembly meeting, which was just last week. And in particular, the exciting thing was that I talked to people at RTA in Detroit about having a common app or something so that you could pay one fare, and like between AAATA and Wave. And they're working on that for all of southeastern Michigan. It's a very long-term process, and they say it's very complicated, so it's nothing that's going to be coming up soon. But they've actually started working on it, and the person who's been assigned to work on it is the former Wave director who's working for RTA now, Julia Roberts.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so she knows, Chris knows her well. She knows Marie Gress very well. And and she said she has a mother-in-law living in Scio that may be interested in helping me out with bus things. And
Oh,
it's kind of cool. So
yeah, nice. Okay, great. All right. I think we covered water. I don't have anything else on resilience except for that the fire station is being developed as a resilience hub. Health, Molly.
And not a ton new to report. I'll have a draft Jan to you of article to consider and welcome your feedback on that going into the end of the week. And then I did have a chance to connect with Janine and just recap some of the things that had been on her mind. And I'm waiting for a response from Erin, who's a staff member of HHS, who's an expert in health and all policies and part of overseeing application of that policy framework. So we'll see if he's able to get in touch and share some of his thoughts about what a township effort may ideally look like and in the conception and his more broad view across all sorts of jurisdictions. That's all I have right now, but I welcome any other ideas that have been coming up.
Okay, yeah. All right. I think the only other thing is, any thoughts on Renee Smallwood's I think what her intent is to say, is there anything that the ESTF feels like they could advocate for at the board level? I think that's what
The open question.
she's after, is the open question, yeah.
Or
And
would they be advocating to the planning commission level?
No,
No?
it's a general ordinance as opposed to a zoning
I
ordinance.
get it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really the Board of Trustees and fire. Yeah, they're the ones. And I think, yeah, so
I don't think there's any doubt that she wants us to come out with a clear statement, recommendation to the Board of Trustees that they ban open burning altogether, and she's not going to give up until we give that.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
So I don't know. Is that something we feel like doing?
Would it affect farmers? Anything that we came up with?
I'm sorry, did I miss something there? I was kind of dreaming. What did you say, Jeff?
Renee continues to push
Advocate?
us, advocate for Scio ending open burning, and that the ESTF provide such a recommendation to the Board of Trustees. And I don't know, the claims about legality are dubious. I haven't fully investigated them. We have an ordinance that allows it. Really, I think the biggest issue, and this has been brought up before, is that certain businesses are taking advantage of it to burn a lot more waste. This is not just about somebody doing a little backyard burning. This is about a couple of businesses that are burning a lot of stuff and putting a lot of smoke into the air. So really, I don't know that it's something we should do. I think if we're going to make that kind of recommendation, we should come up with some kind of policy statement.
Mhm. And they did update the burning ordinance, so it matches the state ordinance.
Yeah, that
So
didn't make her happy.
no,
Right.
but yeah, because it's still allowed in certain size properties. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or you mean the larger the property, the more burning they can do?
Yeah, if it's over an acre, I believe is
Yeah.
I
the
think it goes 1 acre.
That's
Mhm.
1 acre minimum.
Yeah, and then there are the yeah, right. Yeah. So that could be it'd be interesting. I don't know if there'd be anyone who'd be interested in doing it, is to look at, I know, and part of it is because we have such a range of lot sizes in Scio. It goes from, 1 acre to, multiple large parcels. And I think the other thing is, it's the more restrictive it is, you can get a burn permit, and the burn permits are basically a safety thing, right? So it would just more or less regulate burning as opposed to banning burning.
Yeah, I only looked into it a little bit when we were working
Mhm.
on the shorter article that you got into the newsletter, and
Mhm.
was not finding places that had outright banned, from my knowledge, at least not in our region, that had full out bans that were more aggressive than Scio. They were, maybe some required even a permit to even do backyard, small bonfires, but in those cases there was still a mechanism. It just doesn't seem common in our region to have an example, but that doesn't mean that that advocacy point isn't seen. It might just be difficult to assume there'd be a good standing for it if it's, superseding a lot of other stuff, if there's not support. But you were saying it'd be interesting to look into. What was the end of that thought?
Oh, yeah, the idea of what other communities had done.
I'm happy to
And-
look. I can help with that. I did do a little bit of digging around the evidence behind recommendations from a health perspective, and certainly there was more
Mhm.
there than even I was aware of, but I'm
Uh-huh.
happy to continue looking at that and bring it next time.
Okay, I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe we can get either the zoning person or the chief or someone to talk. Maybe they can join us next time just for a
Yeah.
brief, do that at the beginning of the meeting and get their perspective on it too. Okay.
I had a question.
Let me, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Bob.
Jeff, you were saying that there were a couple of businesses that were exceeding what they should be doing. What, do you have any knowledge of this? Did I miss something that Renee put out? I forget.
There
If I
was
saw
a
it.
discussion, and it was either at a previous meeting of this task force or of the board or something, where it was mentioned that there were a couple of businesses that were burning construction waste and materials that really
Okay.
they
Is-
really generate a lot more of a problem than, say, a resident burning some of their sticks.
And they
So,
burn in
so
the-
where I was going with that was, is there any way that we could have monitoring devices put up to gather data to know whether or not this is really something that the township should be concerned with or not? Are we actually contributing to the air pollution? And is there some monitoring devices? I know there are air quality monitors.
Mhm. That would be a capital improvement plan expense.
Well, it would be something to definitely get data to know whether or not we should take action, but that's really all it is. I guess it could be for ongoing monitoring for enforcement if we needed it later.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I think it was just that, with those businesses, they were illegally burning and because we didn't have the compliance officers, and, and also, Scio's ordinance wasn't in line with the state of Michigan. So but now it's in line. The question is, should it be more restrictive?
Right, that's Renee's question.
Yeah.
I know one of the businesses she had pointed out was that landscaping place right on the corner of Stabler and Jackson, which is right on the corner of Scio Farms. But I thought it was kind of interesting because she was saying that they were burning stuff there on a regular basis. Like every Monday, they had some massive burn or something. And I thought that was interesting because I've lived in Scio Farms for, I believe, 30 years now or something like that. And I think only twice ever have I ever noticed there was anything burning over there. So I think it's being done. I just don't know if the
I know,
frequency was
Charlie,
correct or not. But,
I know the owner of that business.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's Mike Kowalski.
Uh-huh.
So I can ask him about that, but I've
Yeah.
been in that yard, quite a few times, and I mean, I may have been there on the wrong day, but I've never noticed burning, but I can ask him about that.
Mhm.
Is that something I should do?
I don't think it would
Oh,
hurt.
oh, is that the landscape one
Yeah,
that is of issue with planning commission and the zoning piece? Is that Bob, do
Eight
you know?
Point?
No, there's not 8 Point, right?
Okay, all right.
I
So
know
a
I
different
can't say
one.
the name of it and I drive by them every day.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, because there are a couple of, it's good that the zoning compliance stuff is starting to work, because there's some pretty, uh, I was astonished at what some of the folks have been doing without any kind of permitting, which includes degradation of wetlands, etc. It's not good. So anyway, all right,
That was
we're
an
getting,
interesting coincidence just today. I was working at the putting a bunch of new networking equipment and phones in the Berlin Fire Department, Berlin Township.
hmm,
And I was at one of the fire stations. I just happened to look out the window, and there's a huge fire out in this field across the street. So Fire Chief Bob was behind her, goes, Bob, did you notice that over there? Yeah. And I goes, I don't suppose he got a burr permit? Nope. And within minutes it was back out. So he must have just burned something. It was a big fire and then put it right back out again. He just looked at me and goes, yeah, it happens around here all the time.
Charlie, quickly, do you know the name of the business? I can't ever remember it.
And I cannot spit it out for the life of me right now.
Can't either.
Go
Yeah,
ahead and I'll see if
it's-
I can find
you
that.
want me remembering?
okay,
It's
all
at
right.
the corner, it's at the corner of the,
Stabler and Jackson.
right, and Stabler's the
Well,
road.
it's actually the entrance is off of Stabler.
Menards is.
Yeah, it's across from Menards.
Great
Yeah.
outdoors.
Right
Great
across.
outdoors.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you,
great
Rob.
outdoors. Yeah, that's it. I
Yep.
mean, yeah. So I'll ask Mike because he's the guy who brings all the leaves for mulching on the farm here, and
Mhm.
I mean, not him personally, but his group of guys does it.
No, okay. Okay. That's good. Okay, just quickly, because we're at about 8:15 or yeah.
Hmm.
What a couple of notes, just I want to for the sustainability fair next year. I think it's still getting out the word, that the whole publicity piece, and maybe we can recruit some folks to help us with publicity. And also, with that is coordination with the trash, what is that called? The trash walk or trash, whatever it was.
What's that, Jan? Trash walk?
What is it called? The trash tour. The event, part of the event was at the Kiwanis.
Boy, I can't think what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
I have a vague
It-
recollection. It was something about circular economy, wasn't it? Where they go to
yeah.
different facilities.
Yeah, it started with a bike. Jeff, do you
Was it
remember
bike
what
or-
that's called?
Same day
What
as
is it?
same day as the sustainability fair, right? That was October the
Right.
5th. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
A squared trash tour.
Hmm.
That wasn't it through Bicycle Alliance or something? Did Bicycle Alliance organize it? Or was it through, I mean, I think it was a joint thing between
Yeah, the
Bicycle
Sierra
Alliance maybe
Club and
yeah.
because yeah, there was a bike group and the Sierra Club and yeah, Dan Ezekiel started that a multiple years ago.
So how is that?
Just mhm.
How is that relevant? The trash?
They do it about at the same time that we do, and so it was a larger event at the Kiwanis, which is in Scio Township. So how do we kind of, coordinate efforts and maybe make it a stop on the tour, etc. I don't know, but anyway. Um,
Right, it's
other,
technically next door. So
mhm,
it's like after you're done with Kiwanis, stop by
Yeah.
the
Who
sustainability
can
fair.
have wave shuttles back and forth.
yeah. Okay. Then also, any other things that you want to comment on?
regarding the fair.
The fair. Yep. Just notes for next year.
Definitely get that guy back that had that emergency vehicle.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, the nanogrid. We'll
Yeah.
see if we can. It just happened that it usually lives in California, but
Yeah, it happened to be, yeah.
planning. But the city has one, so okay.
I think a lot of people came off that very interested in it, and it just,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there might be some other demonstration stuff like that that we might be able to look for. I really liked I thought uh the human hybrid, all the vehicles, all the variety of what they brought was great this year. It was really good.
That was
Common,
popular.
yeah, yeah. Um, and I don't know if there's a way to, Common Cycle was bored. They didn't say they were bored, but I think they only fixed, like, looked at two bikes, so it's somehow not busy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Uh, the biggest voice there is Meyer, the Meyer um, store there, and I wonder if they can help us to publicize it, to you know, to
Hmm.
attract more people, tie it into some kind of program in the store or
Hmm.
something. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, okay.
They send out mailers with their coupons in packets. Maybe we could get the sustainability fair in one of their coupon packets.
Oh, hmm.
We could advertise free admission.
Yeah, with this coupon, free admission.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe sandwich boards at the two entrances with an arrow saying the
Hmm.
sustainability fair is at the end of
Yeah.
the building.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, you're the tallest guy, Rob. You can,
Just have them, yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. All right. All right. Cool.
what do you think? Jan, you're the one who's got the contact with Meyer, right? I wonder if
Yeah. I I don't know what they'd be willing to do, but they can if you don't ask,
yeah,
right?
an offer, I don't know, 10% off on if
Oh,
uh,
a sustainability coupon?
Hmm.
if you if you bring one of the cards from your visit to the fair that is
Hmm.
punched at least 5 times or something, I don't know.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
might, they're part of Scio Township, they might be able to find their way to assisting.
Oh, yeah. And we need people seem to like the DTE stuff.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
help they're
Oh,
giving out
oh,
free light bulbs too.
yeah, that was good.
less of
Mhm.
the kitschy stuff, more of the light bulbs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Meyer did give the bags. I thought that was nice. That worked well with the light bulbs.
Yep.
mine
Okay.
is, they give us their space, but it's kind of no cost to them to do that. There's no.
Well, we go through a legal thing with them to.
But it leads me to think that they could do uh, a little more if they might be willing to do a little more if we asked.
Yeah, I have to be careful because it goes through their legal beagles, and you can't put it in the actual agreement because the attorneys don't want. It's weird. It's weird. But Greg, who is the store manager, is very cooperative. Like the legal beagles, when I made the mistake and we had a little initial meeting asking if we could use the garden carts again, the legal beagle said, absolutely not. Greg goes, don't worry about it. Just don't say anything to them. It's weird. It's just weird.
Did it anyway.
Corporate. Yeah.
Corporate versus the local,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, good. Well, and if anybody thinks of anything, just email it.
So
Yeah.
Jan, next year, when it comes time, I'd be happy to meet with more people with you and, just toss some ideas around.
Ideas. Okay. Brainstorm early. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Tim. All right. Any other public comment?
One last thing, today at 2 o'clock on NPR, there was a story about the dioxane and how the governor and senators, I'm sure all of you guys are on the card email list, and Dan Bicknell and Roger Rail sent out the thing about all the senators and Congress people signing the thing and to urge the EPA to expedite the Superfund, and that was on NPR today. And I think they had somebody from CARD was interviewed. I can't remember their name, but it may have been a CARD person. But
Was that today, Rob?
yep, that was today at 2. So it might still be on their website to
Right,
listen.
right.
Yep.
Great. Woohoo.
So,
Well done, Jake. Good
so
meeting.
there's progress, Rob? Is that what I heard you say?
Um, what they've done is Sue Shank and Ryan Reingans and several others have written to the EPA urging them to expedite the Superfund process to
Right.
get the dioxin cleaned up,
Yep.
and it was just more pressure on the APA to get going, and it was from the state, from a lot of people in the state, so it was more than just local, and that seems significant enough that NPR covered it.
So was it a hearing that happened at 2?
No, it was just an interview, just a story with an
Yeah.
interview part to it.
Uh-huh. Well,
Okay.
that's good.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob.
Yep.
Minutes. Have any additions or corrections to our minutes? Thank you, Kathy.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
So supported.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any opposed? All right, we're good. Our next meeting is December 4th.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
have a
Thanks.
great night. And yeah, Molly will be in touch.
Thank
on,
you.
Good night.
Yeah.
Have a
Okay.
great
Take care,
Thanksgiving, everybody.
everybody.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.